Okay, this might be an odd topic to start with. Yikes! That Sonic design was just awful. Well, that trailer was awful. So let's get into the video. Cue the intro.
Tate, we don't have an intro, yet. You forgot to make one.
Wait, we don't have an intro? You know what? Just add intro to the list of things we need for this channel. Now, as this video was meant for me to be critiquing the design of this thing, other YouTubers have done it, so I wanted to take this video in a different route. I wanted to... This might be unrelated or related, but I want to say a wee story. Now, the other day I was showing someone my channel to ask their opinion, and when showing them the 2-day boxing animation, and he said something that got gears in my head turning. His critique was that the animation needed more stop and stretch when it came to the punch, the final bit, which I did agree with, but then he also said something that really got me to think. He said you could get, if it was in real life, you could get away with that, but since it was animation, you need to stop and stretch, which got me thinking of, if you can do more in animation than you can in live action, what's the point of live action? Why make it real? Though, while looking over the design for preparation for a reaction video, the Sonic movie trailer kinda got this thing done wrong. But since I wasn't wanting to talk about that movie because basically everything that has been said about design has already been said, I thought I would make a video discussing when should something be live action, CGI. Though there's no full correct answer to what makes a design good or bad because different people find different character aspects appealing. As for an example that I myself do not find all that appealing, let's take a look at the... Nope! Not gonna talk about that yet. Leo, stop trying to make me do a video on that. Please stop trying to put furries into the script. Do a video on them like, say a year from now, but not now. Anyway, back to topic. Let's use the example of My Little Pony. Yeah, I don't understand why this fandom is mainly male where the show was made for little girls. But keep in mind that I've only watched, say, 3 episodes and the My Little Pony movie, and I still didn't get the appeal. Maybe this is due to me not watching enough episodes, or mainly it's due to the pink pony being overbearingly annoying in episode 3, but I just never really understood why it had such a large fan base. Maybe I just didn't watch enough episodes to understand why, but the point I'm trying to take is different animation styles are pleasing to different people. What animation style I like, some people may not, and what other people like, I might not. Though I do like the design of Capper in the MLP movie, but he's the only character designed in that style, so he's a bit out of place. So back to talking about realism in animation. Take this with a pinch of salt, but let's talk about the Beauty and the Beast remake. Due to the only examples of comparison I have to go on being remakes for this example and this video, I chose to view Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella because they are the closest to their original counterparts for there to actually be a comparison. But the one thing I wanted to point out in the Beauty and the Beast original that isn't quite as prominent in the live action CGI remake is the use of expressions on the characters' faces. Now, while watching the original Beauty and the Beast, this actually helps the viewer to empathize and like the characters, such as exaggerated smiles, fluent movement, and a few smaller touches and features such as certain angles and motions. The small little details that make the original Beauty and the Beast a masterpiece cannot be found in the remake. This is due to it being live action, and live action is not as expressive as animation. This is kind of my worry for The Lion King as well, due to it being entirely CGI, realistic looking CGI. So either it's going to go in the uncanny valley territory, meaning that it's going to look unnatural and very offbeat, similar to the Sonic movie, or after viewing the trailer, it's not going to be as expressive on the characters, which will lead to people having a harder time relating to the characters. So to me, remaking animated movies into live actions kind of seem a bit pointless, especially if they're well beloved and well established movies. Though the problem is, I can't really think of any remakes or any live action adaptations that have actually done as well. In fact, there are so many bad ones that picking a good one would. I think I can somewhat say the Transformers movies, but they had so many flaws with that it's not even a right comparison. So, for the sake of a good example, I'm gonna have to use the Cinderella movie, despite the fact it has some story issues and the evil stepmother not as intimidating as in the cartoon version. The scene leading up to the ball with the fairy godmother, I think, actually works a lot better in the remake than it does in the cartoon. No fault to old Disney cartoons, but I believe that the scene works a lot better in the live action adaptation than it does in the original. This is due to the magic used actually managing to feel like it affects the world around her, and it's meant to feel fairy tale like. Whereas in the and none of the characters are actually made into live action CGI hybrids. Therefore, it's a lot harder to connect with them, but the acting is still really good, despite the fact that the story doesn't work well. Every performance in that is used to try and make you feel for the characters, and even Cinderella over exaggerates a bit, but the cartoon really didn't have Cinderella over exaggerating to the point where it was cartoony. It was that realistic that basically remake and the cartoon are basically on the same level. I hope this works for an example, because honestly, this was the bottom of the barrel. I probably shouldn't have included it. What I'm trying to say with this is, if the cartoon itself is more human realistic, then made like 90 years ago, adapting it could work, but adapting something a lot closer with better animation could actually leave your movie feeling a bit more lacking. I actually think The Jungle Book's a better example for the remake category, but I wasn't sure whether or not to include it because I'm sort of torn between which one was better, if the animation one was better or if the live action CGI version was better. So I didn't want to include them, so I didn't have to go in depth. At least not too far in depth. I feel like if you are going to adapt something, then you should at least adapt it in a style that made the thing popular to begin with, such as the iconic designs. Now, Detective Pikachu has done this. When I see this, I see a Pikachu. When I see this image, I see a Charizard. When I see this, I see Squirtle. But where the Sonic movie has failed in this aspect is when I see this, I do not see this. This looks straight from the uncanny valley. The uncanny valley being the area of detail where something stops looking good and then dives straight into uncomfortable. The genie from Aladdin almost fell into this category, but when the third trailer released, The genie was a lot more tolerable due to his personality and movement. But seeing the Sonic design, it just looks way too real. Which, even in this movie's context, Sonic's an alien. So why does he look too humanoid? Ah well, at least the Pokemon movie takes place in the same universe as Pokemon. Therefore, they're able to use their proper designs and not deviate for the sake of a to our world plot. This will drastically benefit the movie in my opinion, and I'm actually looking very forward to seeing it. Whereas the Sonic movie's original design doesn't look that good. The director of the movie has actually stated that he plans to fix the design before the movie's released in November. So this video was pretty much pointless, but I hope this movie actually does well, as in I hope they actually I hope they don't rush as bad, but they actually put time and effort in making the Sonic look less humanoid and more like his game counterpart. You don't need the eyes to connect, you just need larger eyes and a smile up a bit higher and closer to the nose. This will drastically change the quality of the design. Though Jim Carrey as Eggman, perfect choice. Anyway, this was Tate, and you're watching one of these videos. I hope you like, comment, share, and subscribe for future content. I hope you like, share, comment, and maybe subscribe for future content. I don't have much on this channel, but I do try to upload as frequently as I possibly can. Anyway, this is TWM's Tate, signing out. Welcome to the end card. This video was a bad idea. Anyway, this was my first attempt at doing this sort of video, and I don't think it's went well. But if I look back on it and it was actually decent, then I might remake it in the future. After all the Sonic movies over and done with, I would actually make it in a proper fashion once I've learned the skills to do it better. Hope you enjoyed, or I hope you enjoyed the cringe factor of this entire video. If you like to watch cringy videos, that is. Tate signing out. Goodbye.